Well, hello everyone. My name is Robert Oji. I am the pastor of Cutler Bay Worship Center right here in beautiful Cutler Bay, Florida. And I want to welcome you this morning to day 10 of Be Encouraged. Because you don't have to worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. And we're looking at scripture, how we can memorize it, how we can meditate on it, and how we can apply it to our lives. This is really the most important part, right? Truth is only good if we apply it to our lives. And so we've been looking at Psalm chapter 23 this week. And today is going to be our last day on that. We're going to look at verse 6. So let's jump in. We're going to read the whole thing, and then we'll look a little bit at verse 6 this morning. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. And here's verse 6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, I like how the New Living Translation says, verse 6, it says, surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life. I like pursue more than follow, right? Follow is kind of like, okay, it's there, it's trailing behind, but pursue is like, it's gonna overtake you. The love and the goodness and the mercy of God are going to overtake you. You can be confident of that. I like how verse 6 is really wrapping up the whole kind of thought of Psalm chapter 23. Yes, it's a new statement in a sense, but I like the conclusion that it's bringing. You know, after defining who God is and what he has done for us, it's like David is concluding it all with verse 6. He said this so far. He said, listen, guys, the Lord is my shepherd. He looks after me, so I don't have to fear being in lack. He's always leading me to a place of peace and provision. He's always leading me to a place of comfort and restoration. He leads me the right way, on the right path, even if it's not my way. Or maybe it doesn't seem right to me. His way is best. And even when I'm in the middle of struggle and darkness surrounds me, I'm filled with the light of his goodness, and he corrects where I've gone wrong. He teaches me how to fix it. He leads me out of my darkness, protecting me from the effects of it all. And on top of all of that, he honors me. I don't deserve it, but he does. That's just how good he is. He honors me even in the midst of those who would dishonor me. He provides all that I need and even more than that. Did you listen to all of that? Of course, his goodness and his love will be with me forever. Of that I am sure. I don't have to worry about his love leaving me. He's proven that he is too good and too faithful for that to happen. And because of that, I will never depart from his house. I want to stay here, loyal to him forever. See, after listing all of the things that God has done for David, he is really confident that it won't end. After all he's been through, he is confident that there's no place he could go where God's love and grace and goodness won't be pursuing him. This is King David writing this. If you haven't read the story of King David, you need to, because his life was pretty big. He's been a shepherd in the fields. He's been an outnumbered, outmatched soldier with a sling facing a giant. He's been a servant to the king, and then the king threw a spear at him and tried to kill him. He was exiled. He had to run away. He hid and lived in caves. He had to leave his country. He fought countless wars. He was honored as a king out of all of this. And as a king, he makes some horrible decisions. And yet, in each of those places, God has redeemed him. He's loved him. He had mercy on him and had been with him. All of those places. See, there are a lot of people think that Psalm chapter 23 was written once he was king. Because if you look at what he's talking about all these different things he's been through, that he protected him in the fields, he can relate to him as a shepherd, that he protected him through the dark times, that he honored him. All of those different situations wouldn't necessarily come from him being a young boy in a field. But when he's been through all of what life has brought him, he looks back and he goes, wow, look at this. I don't know about you. I've been in this place before. Do you ever question God's goodness? Do you ever question his grace? You know, sometimes all it takes for me is to look back at the history of my life and say, wow, you have been so merciful and so graceful towards me, so gracious towards me. Graceful? Is that a word? They say hindsight is 20/20. Well, David's hindsight produced Psalm chapter 23. I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes it's just how we hear something that can really change it. And I've never really thought past just the words of verse 6 that say, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I guess I've always just taken that at face value. I get to live in God's house. We're going to go to heaven. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. In my Father's house are many mansions, and I'm going to prepare a place for you. So there's always been this thought like, yes, I'm going to live in the house of the Lord forever. Of course, I've never really thought past that. And that alone is a very good thing, right? We've been invited into the house of the Lord. But that's not what David says. David doesn't say, and I've been invited into the house of the Lord. What he says is, this is who God is to me. He's my shepherd. He's my protection, my comfort, my love, my provision. He's saved me. He's rescued me. He's taken care of me. He's honored me. He's elevated me. The extent of his love that he has shown me proves to me that he will always look after me. Of course, I will dwell in his house. Why would I leave? That's different. See, the statement is a statement of loyalty. You think I would leave my God's house? You think I would ever leave this good shepherd? David prays in Psalm chapter 27, verse 4, the only thing I ask the Lord, the thing I seek the most, is to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, delighting in the Lord's perfections and meditating in his temple. This became the cry and the prayer of David's heart. I will never leave your house. There was never another king like David. We used to sing this song, better is one day in your courts, better is one day in your house, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. That is straight out of Psalm chapter 84, verse 10. A single day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a gatekeeper in the house of my God than live the good life in the homes of the wicked. When you realize how good God is, how faithful he is, how wonderful he is, it causes in you a desire to be close, to dwell in his presence, to seek after him as he seeks after you. Kaylee and I have a song. I was just listening to it this morning on one of our albums, The Weight of Your Presence. I want to be close to you, Jesus. I want to be close to you, Jesus. There's this desire that we want to be in the house of the Lord. We want to be in his presence. Jeremiah chapter 29:13 says, if you look for me, God speaking, if you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. David made it his mission to dwell in God's house. Psalm chapter 26:8 says, Lord, I love the house where you live, the place where your glory dwells, or the place where your presence dwells. After we've spent this whole week looking at the truth of who God is, how he watches over us, how he protects us, loves us, I want to ask you a question this morning. Can you make that commitment today? I will do whatever it takes to dwell in your presence, to dwell in your house, to make my way to the place where you are. Sorry. And I'm not going to leave. Can you make that commitment this morning to God, saying, you're so good. Why would I ever leave? You're so faithful. Why would I ever walk away from your presence? Why would I ever walk away from your house? Because you're so good. You've proved you are so good. You know, the word to dwell, it means to abide. It's making a home. It's deciding you're not going anywhere. Why don't you pray that with me this morning? God, we're not going anywhere. As David said in Psalm 23:6, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Draw me close to you, never let me go. Oh, I lay it all down again to hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my desire, and nothing else will do, 'cause nothing else could take your place, to feel the warmth of your embrace. Help me find the way, bring me back to you, 'cause you're all I want, and you're all I've ever needed. Yes, you're all I want. Help me know you are near. God, we commit our way to you today. We commit our lives to you today. We commit to dwelling in the place where your presence dwells. To abide in you, Jesus. You said, abide in me and let my words and my life abide in you. God, we will abide in you. We abide in your presence. We abide in the place that you dwell. We love you. We love where you are. We love that you choose to be with us. And God, just as David prayed in Psalm 23:6, we commit ourselves to you. We dwell in your house. I bless you today. I hope that you're doing really well. Sorry, I got a little emotional this morning. I hope you are too. I hope you're experiencing and feeling the presence and the love and the glory of God in your home, right where you're at, because it's a beautiful thing. Let's commit to dwell in his house. Let's not leave. Let's remind ourselves day after day, every moment of every day, I want to dwell in his presence. God bless you. Go ahead, share this so others can be encouraged. And I hope that this week, looking at Psalm 23 has been encouraging to you. I hope that in your home where you are, that you are feeling life and life more abundant, because Jesus Christ is with you. God, the Good Shepherd, is with you. God bless you. Have a great day.